and gentlemen, this is Tan Colbert Tech Repair, where you get everything tech, news, gaming, and nerd related. And today is Friday, and you know what that means? It's time for some tech news. So let's get started here. It seems that Mt. Gox has found 200,000 missing bitcoins in an unused wallet. So that reduces the amount of stolen bitcoins from 850,000 to 650,000. They discovered the bitcoins in a wallet no longer in use, and they believed that there was no bitcoins left in old wallets, but they found 199,999.99 bitcoins on March 7th. They released a PDF on Thursday that said that they reported the discovery to their attorneys on March 8th and have moved the newfound bitcoins to offline storage. So on February 7th, as you already know, they suspended customer withdrawals, and customers are still unable to make withdrawals. So with this 200,000 bitcoins that are now found, I don't know if they are going to refund the users who had the bitcoins in the missing wallet or not. I guess we'll just have to see in the future. I am not a Bitcoin miner, thankfully, after all this happened, but I guess we will see what happens in the near future. In Twitter news, Twitter is dead in Turkey. Now, the Prime Minister in Turkey, he said that we will wipe out Twitter. I don't care what the international community says. They will see the Turkish Republic's strength. So they did this because they said that the Prime Minister threatened to eradicate the social network from the country because he alleged that corruption was spread across social networks. They said, Turkish users, you can send tweets using SMS via these two services, text start to 244 or text start to 2555, and you can send tweets that way via text. The Turkish leader has been under pressure in recent weeks after audio recordings surfaced that social media of conversations allegedly between him and his son. They discuss in detail how to hide vast amounts of money. Now, Facebook and YouTube could also face bans, the Prime Minister warned 2 weeks ago, claiming that the social networks are being abused by his political enemies. He said that we will not leave the nation at the mercy of YouTube and Facebook. We will take the necessary steps in the strongest way. So there's been a hashtag, Twitter banned in Turkey, I believe, that went viral across the entire internet, all across the globe. Let me know your thoughts about this. Do you think it's right that a country can flat out ban a social service? I think not. Even though, especially whenever countries are at war, they tend to try to ban social services such as Twitter and Facebook so that people cannot get word out about what's going on in the country. But let me know your thoughts. Flappy Bird is now coming back to the App Store. Now, he confirmed on Twitter that he will bring it back, but not soon. Now, this could be good news or bad news. He confirmed on Wednesday that the game will eventually return to the App Store and everything else. But since Flappy Bird's been gone, there's been a lot of clones, such as Sesame Street's Flappy Bird to Bird Jesus. The main reason he said that he did this was because he was getting death threats, and he was getting death threats for the game being available, and he got death threats for the game not being available. So it was bad either way he went. But he was reportedly making $50,000 a day. Epic Games is opening the Unreal Engine 4 to the public for $20 a month. Now, it's going to license the game engine for $19 a month and will ask for a royalty agreement for 5% of gross sales. Now, the engine is available for download today. They said, we've always made this available to AAA gamers. It costs many millions of dollars, involves negotiating for weeks or months at a time, but for the very big teams that have wanted access to it, they've been able to get it to build for some really great games. Now, how can we make the most valuable and useful engine available to everyone as practical as possible? Well, they came up with a whole new business model for the Unreal Engine. Now, game developers can still negotiate custom terms for the engine for heftier upfront fees if the game is free to play. Epic will start to take 5% of any macro transactions and ad revenue, And if it's completely free and made for fun, there is no royalty agreement. Now, you get access to everything. The Unreal Editor for PC and Mac, and on those platforms you can deploy to iOS and Android. And more platforms are coming in the future. Now, Epic showcased a unique feature of its engine, the ability to build games within games with ease or near zero C++ knowledge. Now, to do this, the company unveiled a game built in 2 days by somebody with no C++ skills. Now, the clone was constructed within the Unreal 4 engine, meaning that one can manipulate its mechanics in real time, either while playing or in simulation mode. So, this is a huge deal for Unreal Engine 4 and for small game developers. They can license the Unreal Engine for $19 a month and do 5% of gross sales in a royalty agreement. For a smaller company that is developing a game, that can be massive. Just thinking about how much it costs up front to be able to buy the Unreal Engine to use in your game, this will be huge for game developers in the future. I can't wait to see what comes from this. Now, for Titanfall, for the Xbox 360, it's been pushed back to April 8th. Now, EA says the game needs some tweakings before it can hit store shelves. So, the title was originally supposed to launch on March 25th, but it has been pushed back to April 8th in North America and April 11th in Europe. And finally, in virtual reality news, Sony announces Project Morpheus. So, Sony now has their own virtual reality headset. Now, Project Morpheus will be PS4 only. It was unveiled at GDC in San Francisco. The design looks more like a final product than the still in prototype Oculus Rift, with the glowing blue LEDs and a Tron-like vibe. Now, according to Richard Marks from Sony Research and Development, the plans for Project Morpheus reach beyond gaming to promise partnerships with NASA and uses for immersive science. Similar far-reaching uses have been discussed for Oculus Rift and, in fact, most virtual reality technologies. So, how do you control yourself while using Project Morpheus? Well, with the controllers that Sony already has, the PlayStation Eye, the DualShock 4 controller, and Move. Project Morpheus dev kit currently is using a 1080p display with a 90-plus degree field of view. It boasts position and rotation, head tracking, 3-meter working volume, 360 degrees of movement, and the ability to use DualShock 4 and Move controllers simultaneously. But for now, Project Morpheus is hardwired. Wireless capability is something that Sony is looking into, but is not announcing anything anytime soon. Sony already has some developers on board working with experiences with Morpheus, like Crytek and Epic, and that's good news and exactly what Sony will need to make Project Morpheus succeed. Now, there were 4 Project Morpheus demos this week: iValkyrie, which is one of Oculus Rift's apps, and the recent Square Enix game Thief, and 2 interactive tech demos, The Deep and Castle. Now, the headset has 4 LED tracking lights on the front and uses the PS4's camera to track movement. And there are also 2 additional LEDs on the back for tracking you when you turn your head to look behind you. Now, you can look down and see your character's legs, and bending both knees causes your avatar to do so as well. At one point, I sat in a real-life chair. My avatar looked to be squatting. I could even see my chest from this position. It felt quite immersive. It should be coming within the next year to 2015, I believe. And this looks a lot more promising than the Oculus Rift dev kit does. Being able to use Move, the DualShock 4, and the PlayStation controller, 360-degree movement, this just looks awesome. I can't wait till it releases. So guys, this has been Tanko Bear, Colbert Tech Repair with Friday's edition of Tech News from my new studio. If you liked, give it a like. If you didn't, feel free to give it a dislike. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts on the tech news segments, any criticisms you may have, or any thoughts on any of the news stories. You can find me here on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at TankoBear92, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/ColbertTechRepair. See you guys next time.